champion, Bryson DeChambeau!
Gosh, I'm trying to hold it in right now. The support's been overwhelming.
Tickets for Nashville this week are nearly sold out. We are calling this the Bryson effect.
Won the Saudi Open on the Asian Tour in April, and he won the International Series event in Macau in March, beating David Puig in a playoff. Here's a man with 9 career wins, 3 of them on the DP World Tour. 33 years of age from Sacramento, and he is making the most of his chance.
Remember, John Catlin playing as a reserve for Charles Howell III, who's injured. If he were to go on to win this, he gets those points. That would move him right at the top 24 number. Move him at 20th currently. Yeah, another beautiful shot. This guy's making this look so easy.
So having a day. The Englishman 6 under par. He shares the lead with Abraham Answer for the time being at least. Now this is Abraham Answer to stay at 7 under and in all likelihood have the open night lead. And that is wonderfully done. Abe Answer with a 64.
This is what Live Golf's about, man. I had a vision of this 2-3 years ago, seeing what the potential could be, and this is just the start. I mean, with how much support we have out here, and it's just the start, that's a testament to what Live Golf is and what the Crushers are doing, what our team's doing, and what we're trying to do for Nashville and places all across the globe. So super excited for the future of Live.
Decisions. We are live right here on SportsGrid. I'm Kevin Walsh with you on this Tuesday night, kind of wearing team colors, which we love to see here. It is a Dinger Tuesday and a Homerfest Tuesday. Some new interesting options out there for folks who like to bet the home run props on what is a stacked Major League Baseball board. We've already had 4 Euro games today. We have 2 more coming. I think one just got underway, in fact, over at Copa America. Late night Argentina, Chile. We'll get involved there as well. Commissioner's Cup for the WNBA. But before we get into the Stanley Cup Final, where we did see a victor last night. Let's go MLB play of the day. Let's go quick pick. Let's go under. Despite the weather, despite the Dinger Tuesday, it's an under 7.5 for me with Ranger Suarez and Tariq Skubal going today for their respective teams. Arguably, the 2 best pitchers in their respective leagues, and both are in actually interesting bounce-back spots. Rangers is a little sneakier compared to Skubal's, but Suarez has allowed a run, 1-1, and then 2 runs earned in 3 consecutive starts. It's the longest stretch we've seen from Ranger Suarez of allowing earned runs. I think it's very live that he throws 6 shutout innings here. Skubal is coming off of consecutive, for him, nightmare starts of 4 earned and 4 earned. He returns to Detroit, where he's been largely unhittable. I think this would have been an under at a 7 to get the hook. I think it's under for Suarez and Skubal in Detroit. Let's talk some puck. The Florida Panthers get the job done and avoid the collapse. 2-1 victory in game number 7. I think one of the less important takeaways, but ones that will certainly stay, is if they dare flash us a Game 7 next year in the Cup Final, that 5.5 won't even exist. This was a dead under with really no chance. Even the empty nets opportunities that were close would have only been able to get this to 4. If you had a second one, you're getting a 5. You're not close. You were not close to the over on that 5.5 number. We talked about how even people that were betting over 5 flat, it felt like they were betting push more than betting win. And that's what we got here in this game. Now, for the Panthers, this was a pick 'em money line at some shops. We heard from Dave Sharapan, who's out there in Las Vegas, that some West Coast places were showing Edmonton as a road favorite. While I think momentum is real, we did see too much movement go to the Oilers' side, and it made for some backing the Panthers maybe a little bit easier in this game. I know there were some Panthers futures cashed, which people were certainly excited about. Myself, again, left holding a big bag of nothing. Series spread opportunities did not cash despite the chances Florida had going up 3-0 in the series. And then Bobrovsky for a best bet last night over the 24.5 saves lands 23. So that was an under as well. But it wasn't all bad. I was at minimum happy to see the Conn Smythe Trophy was awarded rightfully to Connor McDavid. And here you can see the movement for McDavid and his price to win the Conn Smythe. That 10-1 number was quite comparable to where Edmonton was being priced as a team to win the Stanley Cup. And you saw it go down to plus 190 heading into the Cup final, which again was largely comparable to the Edmonton price in the series. While a Draisaitl could have had a great one, I thought Bouchard was live if he was able to break some history, which he was not. But it felt like it would be McDavid. And the only reason we saw this monstrous 17-1 number come in is why it was a 3-0 deficit. And history was against Connor McDavid. Winning this award on a losing team, a rarity. It's happened 5 total times, and 2 of those 5 happened in the first 4 years of the award's existence. First time since 2003, a player who did not win the Cup final won the Conn Smythe Trophy. But for McDavid, it was more than deserved. The numbers were eye-popping. I get it. Game 6, Game 7, without a point was difficult. But it is not given for just your performance in the Stanley Cup final. And I, by the way, still think McDavid in totality was the best player in the Cup final. I really believe that here over his 25-game postseason, the historic 34 assists, 42 total points. He was absolutely brilliant for Edmonton. He just was. And now he's answered one question. He and the Oilers have answered a question of, does their brand of hockey, does their what's kind of labeled offense-first type of hockey, can it result in success? Well, they got to a Game 7 of the Stanley Cup final. So people are going to be looking now to bet on a extra-motivated McDavid. FanDuel immediately drops the props. We go over 27.5 here, over under, 127.5 for his season points, a number he cleared this year due to the 100-assist season, and that was while missing some time. McDavid, his Hart Trophy price is what really jumps off the page. Plus 180. McKinnon's at 5-1, and then you got Austin Matthews along with Jack Hughes at 10-1. It is every expectation that this year's Hart Trophy will be given to Nathan McKinnon later on this week. Connor McDavid going consecutive years without the Hart Trophy is not common. So again, a plus 180 number there it looks like a winner. I wonder as we get closer to next year's award or next year's start of the season, what kind of alt numbers we see with McDavid. Do we get another bet on another 100-plus season, maybe extra goals this year? Maybe some felt the 32 were a little bit short. But Connor McDavid is one of the very few players that do have props up for next season. Along with the Hart Trophy being listed, we, of course, have the awards for next year's Stanley Cup winner, with the Florida Panthers the favorites to repeat. Edmonton here, co-third choice with Colorado and Dallas at 10-1. It's the Carolina Hurricanes at plus 950, who actually didn't make it out of the second round. They were eliminated by your 13-1 number here on the New York Rangers. But I want everybody to really just take a second and really eye up the numbers that we have here. Your top 10 teams, 9-1 as a starting point, 18-1 for your 10th team. It is a super unique futures market when you talk Stanley Cup final. Take a look right now. Go through your sports book. Flip the pages. Try and find how many spots can you find a favorite like this to win a championship at longer than 9-1. I looked through college basketball next year, 10-1 UConn a favorite. That's about it. Next year's NBA Finals prices are up. You're going 3-1 Boston Celtics. The World Series numbers right now in the Dodgers are lower than 3-1. Super Bowl odds, Chiefs, Niners, 6-1. So due to the parity that exists in this league, we never necessarily get anybody too short. And even when you have a team to go out there and put up a dominant year, we still get to the postseason, and your most ardent hockey fans believe, well, anything can happen. So I think you could reasonably, if you find a super long shot, that's great. But if you like the top teams, you can be patient. How much worse are any of these numbers going to be once your cup final odds are set? I do think Florida would have the best chance to create a lot of movement in that market due to the fact that they are the defending champions. Not only is their cup price out, but the Eastern Conference plus 460 and the Atlantic Division numbers as well at plus 185. My last thoughts on the hockey season. Connor McDavid, arguably a top 5 skater in the history of this sport, not winning a cup sounds off the board. Do you just bet McDavid's team every year for the next decade to win the cup final and expect profit? It's out there. We'll talk baseball next.
SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. Fantasy sports today.
Can he be a guy that's really useful in your fantasy rotation? I think the answer is yes.
Game time decisions.
I'm going to lose the bet because he's injured again.
Betting above the rim.
He's got a broke J. That's all there is to it. He's got no confidence in that jump shot.
My thing you've always heard me say on the network is you're either winning or you're rebuilding.
In-game live all access.
Wondering when that was going to happen, and the answer is it just did.
The bigger guy will have the advantage. Well, if the little guy can move, Joe, it's hard to hit the little guy sometimes when you're a big boy, right?
In-game live, prime time.
40-1, I'm going to take a little flyer on Justin Rose.
In-game live, overtime.
As you sit here and listen, watch right now, you may want to consider placing that bet.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
He went bogey, double, par, birdie, bogey. Thomas Dietrich's all over the place here today.
This golf course is so volatile where it can make you look like a fool in just a matter of minutes. And, you know, you look at a guy like Thomas Dietrich. You know, he's right there tied for the lead or whatever it was, and now he's like 4 or 5 over in the wink of an eye.
In-game live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
Despite me being a Yankee fan, I think Joe would deserve the label as Aaron Judge's biggest fan, not through any bias, but just through the amount of money that he's made anybody who's been betting on him.
I just had him for that home run, and I'm going to go back to it today. That home run coming in at plus 230. Max Fried here, while he has been strong, this is Aaron Judge.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
All right, we're back to right here, Game Time Decisions. Excited to kind of put that cup season behind us. All in all, it was a lot of fun. Man, people were super pumped just heading into Game 7. I thought there was more buzz around these cup playoffs than in years past, and it continued to escalate to that moment. I will even admit, as somebody who didn't have a side, the final 3.5 minutes were as intense as it gets. It was a lot of fun. And again, it was an enjoyable season. I thought that the sport as a whole commanded more attention than years past. And I thought we did a nice job here on the show giving it that attention. We're going to give some attention to the WNBA's Commissioner's Cup in a moment, but Coach James Young will help us do that. And then we'll get a little bit set for the NBA draft with JY as well tomorrow. Big-time blowout coverage here on the network and NBA draft special. Nobody does it better. Myself, Coach James Young, and Ben Stevens will be live with you here following all the action, and I do mean action. I know some have downplayed the quality of this draft. First of all, I disagree. I think too many people have kind of run into some groupthink there. I'm not telling you it's the greatest draft of all time, but there's some great players in this draft. Players I'm very excited about. Reed Shepard, Steph Castle. Guys that you know. It's not, yes, some overseas guys. Alex R. Don't like Richier personally. I'm out on the player relative to where he's going to be drafted, which is likely first overall. But we're going to get into all that because here's the thing. While I don't think Richier is one of the 5 best players, might not even think he's one of the 10 best players in this class, I have a wager on him that involves him going first overall because that's what it's about. We're going to try and find the edge. We're going to try and find the value, and that's what we do right here on SportsGrid. Let's talk some baseball. MLB play of the day. It's in. It's going to be live here in about 25 minutes, so make sure you're not missing out. It's under 7.5, Detroit, Philly. Minus 110 juice for me because I knew that this is where I wanted to be early. Right now, if we look around your best juice, what do we got? Minus 122. Wow, some spots went 7. Here's the deal. I think this is super low scoring. I think we could be scoreless through 6. I really do. So I like what we have here in the Tigers and the Phils. Some could possibly say, hey, why not go out there, play first 5s? I've played very few first 5s in baseball this year. I think it is a sport that is such a robust menu that you want to try and hone into your markets. And it's something that I talk about with Donnie Rightside all the time when we're together on Moneyline and when we did the early line together. You know, you'll see now Donnie, who used to consistently zone in on a team total market, now zone in on the RBI market, right? For me, player props, I'm most comfortable hits, runs, RBIs. Occasionally, I'll take that to an RBI market. I'll take it to a runs market. You don't see me bet total bases often, right? Where are we comfortable here? I'm more comfortable full game. If this game's scoreless through 7 and then the bullpens give up a billion runs, all right, that'll be unfortunate. That'll be on me, but I'm not going to go and squeeze the apple here. The books are, of course, prepared for more first 5 under bets in this game here between Detroit and Philly. Now, enough of this under talk. It's Stinger Tuesday, and we're going Adley Rutschman right off of the bat here at plus 560 as this game between Baltimore and Cleveland looks like it should have all kinds of juice. I'm also on Juan Soto in the Subway Series here at a plus 450 price. Boys look good. Couple of lefty bats. Psych, Adley Rutschman, switch hitter. Something I got to consistently correct myself on. Here's the deal with Adley, though. Goes up against Logan Allen today. Logan Allen having a rough season, and he struggled against righties. And Adley Rutschman is having a type of season that at times, I will admit, the whole switch hitting thing, I find it a bit bizarre. Adley Rutschman this year against lefties, meaning when he's batting righty, hits .418. Adley this season when he's batting lefties, hitting .246. Maybe just bat righty, Adley. Are you sure it would be that tough to see righties if it's going that well? I know I'm challenging one of just the most accepted things in the sport, but I can't help myself. Nevertheless, it's a great day to be on Adley Rutschman here. Jose Ramirez makes plenty of sense if you want to go to the Guardians side. I think this is a perfect Dinger Tuesday game with the weather and the pitchers. I think we see enough here, all in all, from this match today, or from this game today, excuse me. We have some soccer stuff crossing the tablet here. But we're going to go for Adley Rutschman, plus 560 for the home run. Subway Series, Mets-Yanks. If you want to pick from me on a side, I would actually lean Metsies here. Garrett Cole's first performance, you don't hold it against him. 4 innings, 2-run baseball, but he wasn't dominant. Now it's his first start back. But are you expecting Garrett Cole to be the best pitcher in baseball, which he arguably is right away in his start number 2? No, but I think the books are pricing it that way a little bit. And I think it is why we've seen the Yanks number drop a tick from the minus 150 numbers. You saw there at some shops, you're seeing minus 138, maybe closer to minus 140 now, all in all. But I'm not on the New York Mets. I didn't think the dog price was great enough because I think David Peterson can be had. And while this is a Yanks team that can hit lefties very well, if we look, David Peterson this year has reverse splits. giving up a 304 batting average to left-handed hitters. Now, he hasn't given up any home runs to lefties, but that's a very small sample size. So I'm willing to challenge that with Juan Soto at what I think is a great plus 450 number. And I'll admit, it's a little narrative. But this is a huge stage for Soto, who not only has already impressed the Yanks, but wants to impress the Mets. Because if Soto's going to get paid top dollar, his best route is pitting these two franchises against one another in a bidding war this offseason. I think Soto answers the bell. I think he goes deep at plus 450. As I mentioned, we also have Homer Fest. Little DK action here on a Tuesday. Place any home run bet up to a certain limit. I don't know if that limit varies for people. Mine was at minimum of $20. That's what I saw. And you'll get $1 back. Again, that amount I think also varies for people. For every home run hit today. Well, you just got to get involved. Got to get involved. Who do we take, though? We take Shohei Ohtani, plus 160. I think it's the shortest number we've seen all season long on a player to hit a home run. Quite frankly, I don't care. Shohei Ohtani is going to hit a home run. Now, hopefully the weather holds because there could be some rain in the forecast. But all in all, it is another hot Chicago day where Ohtani should be able to absolutely smash Chris Flexen. Batting leadoff as well. I think Ohtani gets the job done at a plus 160 price. We're hitting a break here. It's a Dinger Tuesday, but we've got Commissioner's Cup action. Liberty Links, it's next right here on SportsGrid.
SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. Fantasy sports today.
Can he be a guy that's really useful in your fantasy rotation? I think the answer is yes.
Game time decisions.
I'm going to lose the bet because he's injured again.
Betting above the rim.
He's got a broke J. That's all there is to it. He's got no confidence in that jump shot.
My thing you've always heard me say on the network is you're either winning or you're rebuilding.
In-game live all access.
Wondering when that was going to happen, and the answer is it just
Sometimes
did.
the bigger guy will have the advantage. Well, if the little guy can move, Joe, it's hard to hit the little guy sometimes when you're a big boy, right?
In-game live, prime time.
40-1, I'm going to take a little flyer on Justin Rose.
In-game live, overtime.
As you sit here and listen, watch right now, you may want to consider placing that bet.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
He went bogey, double, par, birdie, bogey. Thomas Dietrich's all over the place here today.
This golf course is so volatile where it can make you look like a fool in just a matter of minutes. And, you know, you look at a guy like Thomas Dietrich. You know, he's right there tied for the lead or whatever it was, and now he's like 4 or 5 over in the wink of an eye.
In-game live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
Despite me being a Yankee fan, I think Joe would deserve the label as Aaron Judge's biggest fan, not through any bias, but just through the amount of money that he's made anybody who's been betting on him.
I just had him for that home run, and I'm going to go back to it today. That home run coming in at plus 230. Max Fried here, while he has been strong. This is Aaron Judge.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
All right, we're live right here at SportsGrid. It's game time decisions. We got it's a lot of championships kind of been going on. Let me quickly shout out the Tennessee Vols. Year of the Chalk continues. They get the job done over, sneaks in the 9th. And I'll say this, as someone who did end up hitting that bet, I didn't deserve it. Not because it was fluky, but because I didn't even have eyes on it. I'll hand up. I didn't. We had the Cup, and then we had Love Island on the top TV. I'm loving the Love Island. I'll be honest with you people. It's been great this season. It really has. I mean, I'm just saying, if you need something, I'm giving it to you. But we've got another championship. That's the Commissioner's Cup. Is it a championship? I don't know. It's close to it. It's kind of in-season tournament. Here's another quick take for you. I maybe am more excited for next year's in-season tournament than anything else in basketball next year, outside of Wemby winning MVP. Coach is here. JY, I'm rambling. I'm excited. It's a big-time Tuesday. And we're on the heels, we're on the cusp of the NBA draft. Liberty Lynx, Commissioner's Cup. It's going to be a great game.
It is going to be a great game, and maybe this is a revenge factor for a Liberty team that went to Minnesota and got smoked, Kevin, on a Saturday a couple of weeks ago. I think you and I were actually talking about the game pregame, and the Liberty got absolutely smoked. So to me, and here's the thing, and Kevin has talked about it as nauseam. Liberty are undefeated at home. They don't cover spreads. So I can't touch the Liberty. I can't touch the Lynx because could the Liberty win by 20? Yes. Then these are two really good defensive matchups. So to me, the way I'm playing this, I'm going to just go with two props. Number one, Sabrina Ionescu over 6.5 assists. Why they're hanging this where this is, Kevin, I have no idea. She's been completely so much better since Sloot got hurt or has been out. She has gone over her last 6 games, Kevin, and every game has been 8 assists or more. She's getting the touches and she's getting the usage rate. And with the way that she's been shooting the ball, she's been able to create. So I love Sabrina. I love Sab to go over 6.5 assists. Other play I like tonight, Double J, Jonquel Jones, over 1.5 made threes at -128. Simply put, she has been getting the shot volume and she's been knocking them down. Over in 7 out of the last 8 games. Except for the game she missed last game, which she went 1 of 2 when they blew out Atlanta by 21 and it was like a 35-point game in the third quarter. She wasn't needed to shoot the ball from 3. But the shot volume is there, Kevin, and she shot the ball well. And if we remember back to last year when the Liberty won the Commissioner's Cup on the road at Las Vegas, who was the most valuable player? It was Double J, Jonquel Jones. I'll go with Jonquel Jones over 1.5 made threes. Sabrina Ionescu over 6.5 assists tonight.
Now, you alluded to an MVP, and I'm curious. I do not know if you know the answer, and I do apologize if you have, to some degree, gave us that answer. But you can bet on the Commissioner's Cup MVP tonight. Is that award based on tonight's game, or is that based on your Commissioner Cup performances where tonight's game will likely matter the most?
I think it depends on the overall, because if you look at the Commissioner's Cup, like right now it's based off of the fact that I think the best player for Minnesota Lynx in the Fisher Colley is plus 290. And she's tied with Stewie. The reason why Stewie isn't higher is she's got Jonquel and Sab who can beat her to it. So you can't bet. You can't. If you would have put Sabrina, if you would have put Brianna Stewart at plus 290, if you would have put it at, let's say, 2-1, plus 150, people would have just ran to the window and took that over the Liberty to win the game -225 on the money line. So that's why I think it goes there. I would say this. The way she's been playing, Kevin, if there's someone you want to take a stab at, it's honestly not Stewie. It's Ionescu at plus 460.
But this is why I ask, and I will say this. I wish I had a more definitive answer. I will do my very best to get people if I can. But based on the Commissioner's Cup games, it is Stewie, and I'm pretty firm in that through the 4 games. And Stewie still has stronger numbers tonight. It's an interesting spot. We'll keep breaking it down. We're live right here. We're talking some draft as well at SportsGrid.
SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. Fantasy sports today.
Can he be a guy that's really useful in your fantasy rotation? I think the answer is yes.
Game
And guess
time
what?
decisions.
I'm going to lose the bet because he's injured again.
Betting above the rim.
He's got a broke Jay. That's all there is to it. He's got no confidence in that jump shot.
My thing you've always heard me say on the network is you're either winning or you're rebuilding.
In-game live all access.
Wondering when that was going to happen, and the answer is it just
Sometimes you think
did.
the bigger guy will have the advantage. Well, if the little guy can move, Joe, it's hard to hit the little guy sometimes when you're a big boy, right?
In-game live, prime time.
40-1, I'm going to take a little flyer on Justin Rose.
In-game live, overtime.
As you sit here and listen, watch right now, you may want to consider placing that bet.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
He went bogey, double, par, birdie, bogey. Thomas Dietrich's all over the place here today.
This golf course is so volatile where it can make you look like a fool in just a matter of minutes. And, you look at a guy like Thomas Dietrich. He's right there tied for the lead or whatever it was, and now he's like 4 or 5 over in the wink of an eye.
In-game live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
Despite me being a Yankee fan, I think Joe would deserve the label as Aaron Judge's biggest fan, not through any bias, but just through the amount of money that he's made anybody who's been betting on him.
I just had him for that home run, and I'm going to go back to it today. That home run coming in at plus 230. Max Fried here, while he has been strong, this is Aaron Judge.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
All right, we're back right here, Game Time Decisions. JY and I went full kind of investigation mode as much as we could during our break. And what I would say is Jonquel won the MVP last year almost entirely on what she did in the game. She was by far their best player in the game against Vegas. So I was going to say remove Jonquel, but you're high on Jonquel on the spot, so that doesn't help me at all. I want to bet. I want to bet Stewie at plus 290. I want to bet Stewie at plus 290. They're playing this game at UBS. Does that matter? Does that matter? Because they're home, but they're not at the Barclays.
Wait, why? Is there a concert at the There's got to be a concert at the Barclays.
Because of the NBA draft? I think it is. I think it's because of the draft.
Oh, yeah,
Is
they
what I
right for the
saw.
draft. Yeah. It's kind of like when St. John's went to the UBS Arena and played Seton Hall. How you doing? That didn't turn out too well for the Johnnies that day.
Okay. All right. You know that game actually moved an AEW pay-per-view from where everyone thought it was going to be?
But
Instead of at UBS, it was at Nassau Coliseum.
But by the way, I will say this, folks, really quick. Kevin's from New York City guy. I'm the Jersey guy. UBS, that's a sneaky nice arena. Very nice arena.
Nothing sneaky about it. Oh, it's beautiful.
Very, very impressive.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I loved it. I'll go back there again.
It's beautiful. Great take. Great take.
I just don't want to deal with the Bell Parkway. The Bell Parkway, too much drama for JY. JY don't do the Bell.
Yeah, but driving on like the Barclays isn't better. JY, sneaky, your UBS take? Maybe my favorite take you've had on the show in the last 2 months. I'm not sure. All right, so you're on the Liberty and the Lynx. Folks, for me tonight, give me the under. I'm on under 164.5. This game last year was a dead under, right? Both teams get up for this one. I know the New York Liberty's offense has been absolutely brilliant, but this Minnesota defense, I can't give them enough credit. They held Phoenix to 60 last game, and I've talked a lot here on the show about what the Phoenix offense has looked like with BG, and the Liberty's defense is also fantastic. So don't forget that. I want to ask you one last question, JY, before we get over to some NBA draft stuff. And again, tomorrow's a huge day. The movement that has happened on the Minnesota Lynx to win the championship has been significant. They are currently plus 800. Does tonight's result matter for you at all when you are evaluating if you believe Minnesota can win the title this season?
Yeah, because they're going to beat New York at home and on the road. I mean, and they'll give Liberty 2 out of their 4 losses. And if you look at the the Minnesota Lynx, they're still not playing without Diamond Miller, dynamic guard who really gets them out and open in transition and really good defensively. And Kevin said it best, folks. Just in case you're wondering, and I know why Kevin went there. The Minnesota Lynx right now have passed the Connecticut Sun for the best defensive rating in the league, right? And then further that point, they play at the second slowest pace. So what travels? Defense travels. So their ability to defend, right? Their ability to slow the game down is something that's really important. What could hurt them tonight, and maybe a prop you should be looking at, is maybe also look at the rebound props. Ready? The second to best rebounding team in the WNBA, New York Liberty. Third to the worst rebounding team in the WNBA, Minnesota Lynx. Maybe John Quell or Stewie. Maybe you look at the double-double market if you can find yourself some good plus money.
All right, now let's move over quickly. NBA draft, again, tomorrow. It is a big one. I will tell people from my end, I have slow-rolled placing some bets with the NBA draft. While we are live, I believe it's 7:30 tomorrow, I will tweet out any bets I make to the people throughout the day because we know that draft markets move a lot. And, JY, we've seen that with the picks to go first, second, and third. I want to ask you about the guy who is not favored to go in that top 3, and, in fact, a player who is not favored to be selected at any of the top 10 draft positions. He's not the favorite at any one of the markets. Donovan Clingan. Donovan Clingan is a guy we've heard rumored to potentially go first overall. Markets have given up on that happening. It looks like it'll be Ricochet. Second overall, everybody's expecting Sarr. Clingan is at plus 280 to come off of the board third. I believe that is the shortest number he has at, again, any one individual spot. At this moment, Tuesday, day before the draft, 6:37 p.m. East Coast time, what are you expecting Donovan Clingan at his draft position to look like?
Well, the interesting thing, folks, is the movement that he's moved the most, Kevin, if I'm not mistaken, is 4. I saw him at 10-1, I think, yesterday. He's at 3.5 to 1 now to go fourth because there's talk about him and Wemby together in the front court. So to me, I still look at it as this. The keys to this lies to me with number 3 at Houston. I can see Houston. I have it on my draft board, to be all due respect, folks, and I've had it for weeks. The Donovan Clingan goes 3 because I think they want to move Şengün to the 4. I've watched Şengün get bully balled, and I wonder if people are looking at the way that Minnesota was with Cat and Rudy and think can you duplicate this with the stretch 4 who can pass the ball and dribble the ball with the 5. Now, here's where it gets interesting, Kevin. And you and I, and Kevin's been great, and Kevin's such a good friend. We've been talking about this for days, him and I. And I've come around on this Edey thing, folks, because Edey, to me now, is so locked in with Donovan Clingan, meaning Portland. And I want people to look at this right now. I think Portland really wants Edey, okay? Simply put, if they could get Clingan at 7, I don't think Clingan goes lower than that. I think 7 is his bottom drop-off. If you go to 7. If he goes 3, folks, and you can get a top 10 bet in, I would run and go take Zach Edey in the top 10. Because I think Portland's going to take him at 7 because they don't know if he's going to be available at 14. They can address the center, and they want to go center, probably 3-and-D guy. So whether Tijan Salam starts to slide a little bit, or you go get someone else, or the Silva they like, I think there's a case of if Clingan goes 3, then Edey goes 7. If it's 7, and then you get Clingan taken, then that could be the Edey slide, but then I think someone may come up to go get him.
So I think it's a very interesting point on Edey. I think it's important that people understand the Zach Edey draft position prop right now of 15.5 if Portland is as in on this kid as we've seen some reports, they would have to pass on him twice with picks 7 and 14. So I think that's really something important to know. There is something on the board for San Antonio that is risky, but might be worth it. I'll explain that in about 15 minutes. JY, tell me, at this moment, have you locked in any other wagers with this draft?
Well, you're going San Antonio. I'm going Castle with the number 4 pick at plus money. I think that is the pick. It slid down. It was plus 170. Now it's down to plus 140. And I will say this. I'm willing to think that I think San Antonio, if they stay there, goes guard. And the guard I would take, if I can get Castle at 4, Dalton Connect. It's Connect or Cody Williams. I think it's Connect because of the fact that you can go 3-guard lineup with Vassell, Connect, and Castle, and then you obviously have Wemby at the power forward.
All right, so also I know that JY did jump in with me on a Bronny wager, which has moved the complete opposite direction.
I don't care.
Where will Bronny James land? Guess what? It is by far the biggest story on draft night. Looks agree.
First round.
Oh, JY, listen to him. Tom Vecchio's up next.
SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. Fantasy sports today.
Can he be a guy that's really useful in your fantasy rotation? I think the answer is yes.
Game time decisions.
I'm going to lose the bet because he's injured again.
Betting above the rim.
He's got a broke J. That's all there is to it. He's got no confidence in that jump shot.
My thing you've always heard me say on the network is you're either winning or you're rebuilding.
In-game live all access.
Wondering when that was going to happen, and the answer is it just
Sometimes
did.
the bigger guy will have the advantage. Well, if the little guy can move, Joe, it's hard to hit the little guy sometimes when you're a big boy, right?
In-game live, prime time.
40-1, I'm going to take a little flyer on Justin Rose.
In-game live, overtime.
As you sit here and listen, watch right now, you may want to consider placing that bet.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
He went bogey, double, par, birdie, bogey. Thomas Dietrich's all over the place here today.
This golf course is so volatile where it can make you look like a fool in just a matter of minutes. And, you look at a guy like Thomas Dietrich. He's right there tied for the lead or whatever it was, and now he's like 4 or 5 over in the wink of an eye.
In-game live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
Despite me being a Yankee fan, I think Joe would deserve the label as Aaron Judge's biggest fan, not through any bias, but just through the amount of money that he's made anybody who's been betting on him.
I just had him for that home run, and I'm going to go back to it today. That home run coming in at plus 230. Max Fried here, while he has been strong, this is Aaron Judge.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Welcome back in, Game Time Decisions, and I am now here with what feels like the real star of the show, Tom Vecchio. Little crossover in the break. Coach James Young's excitement level to talk to Tom was unmatched. Tom, it's great to have you.
It's great to be here. Yeah, exciting stuff behind the scenes. It is Dinger Tuesdays. So JY wanted to know what who I'm going to be on tonight, the picks. We have a loaded slate tonight. We're, obviously in the time of year where it's all baseball, at least for the core 4 sports. I'm ready to roll.
Mm-hmm. Before we get to the Dinger Tuesday picks, I do want to ask you one thing off of last night's Stanley Cup final. And I would like your thoughts on McDavid winning the Conn Smythe.
Yeah, we kind of touched on that at the end of last week, where I think it brings in a larger conversation about sports and awards and, what is value? Is it just the best player with the best stats? Is it, I think all of that's important. He deserves to win it for what he did, setting records throughout the postseason. I think that is very clear. Now, are we just going to default to someone on the winning team? The best player on the winning team could have been Bobrovsky, could have been Barkov. Sure, I assume some people voted for him. But ultimately, McDavid deserves it. And I think if we have these deeper conversations, especially when it comes to awards, Cy Youngs, MVPs, it really will bring the best forward. And we kind of already started there in baseball, or what's happened already, where, Jacob deGrom, when he won Cy Youngs with the Mets, he had losing records, right? I believe it was losing records just because the Mets were terrible and they couldn't score. But deGrom himself was an amazing pitcher. So his win-loss shouldn't factor into how good of a pitcher he is. So I think these larger things will help move forward the conversation overall.
So to let you just kind of know, and I actually didn't even realize that this is how they did this, but the Conn Smythe is a ballot.
Yes.
So you actually do first, second, and third. And McDavid, of the, I believe, 16 ballots, was first on all but one, which went to Bobrovsky. And here's what I would say. If they would have given that award to Bobrovsky, it would have they truly at that point then should just rename or change the definition to, we're gonna give it to whoever wins the trophies, best player that we kind of think is the best player in the moment, but probably still isn't even their best player, because many, I know at least like Tom at a certain point, believe that to be Barkov.
Right. And we're getting into the minutia of what individual people find valuable, what they personally weight more when it comes to, player performance and those sorts of things. So it's a very in-depth conversation of value. Is Antetokounmpo the most valuable player in the league? Is Tatum? Is it Brunson? Is it all these things? Is it just going to be Jokic time and time again? We're going to have this conversation in every sport, essentially.
And just to add, by the way, how interesting this all was. Bobrovsky was only on 3 ballots. He's only on 3 ballots, which is surprising. But again, the idea that he was going to win the award, which I thought was possible, I'm glad it didn't happen. Let's talk homers, Tom. Who are you lining up here on a Dinger Tuesday?
So I got a couple picks today. Let's start off with a bit of a longer shot, and that is Josh Smith from the Texas Rangers at plus 600. I always talk about what we have to understand, what these odds mean. And a plus 600 odds mean it's a 14.3 implied probability. So this is not some average bet. It's a bit of a longer shot, but I really do like his matchup going up against Bryce Wilson. He's allowing 535 slugging to lefties, 369 WOBA, 2.25 home runs per 9, 47% fly ball rate, and 41.9% hard contact rate. That's essentially perfect for what we want to see. Josh Smith, over the last 50 plate appearances, several batted balls over 100 miles per hour in exit velocity. He's got a 175 ISO, 142 WRC plus, and a 36.4% fly ball rate versus righties. I like this matchup. He's hot at the dish. It's also plus 170 for an RBI, so obviously significantly better odds and significantly better implied probability if you're just searching for that.
All right, look at that. That's 6-1 there. Put them all up there. 6-1, plus 360, plus 310. That's a full card there, Tom.
Right. So Yordan Alvarez at plus 310. That's probably the lowest number I'll go. We've talked about before, like Ohtani today. I saw him this morning at plus 196 going up against.
It's lower.
It's lower now. He's going up against
plus 176.
Chris Flexen, which is an awesome matchup. So, yeah, Ohtani could obviously hit a home run any single time. But Yordan at plus 310, plus 320, or we can find it's probably the lowest they'll go. Great matchup versus Austin Gomber for the Rockies. Despite it being a lefty-lefty matchup, Alvarez is awesome, 190 ISO. He's got a 154 WRC plus, 39 fly, 40% hard contact. Gomber's given up a 541 slug into lefties, which we absolutely love to see, and 2.81 home runs per 9. And then roll it into Matt Olson. My guy from last year is going up against Kyle Gibson. It's super hot in St. Louis, mid-90s, wind blowing out. Same stats. We're looking at 455 slugging from Kyle Gibson. 41% fly ball rate, 36% hard contact rate. And Matt Olson, despite a little bit of a slow start to the year, he's got 3 home runs in his last 12 games. He's starting to heat up at the plate with a 38% fly ball rate, which we love with these hitting conditions.
Yeah, it's going to be a great day. Gunnar Henderson has already joined the party with another home run, by the way. So there goes Gunny, who's also hit lefties.
Yes.
At least that's – he's hit lefties, so they drop him to 4 when they face a lefty. I got to be honest with you, that's not a very comforting sign to me. That it does suggest that they maybe don't know what they're doing a little bit to me.
You have still the MVP ticket on him? Right?
No, I just have a season-long RBI over Gunnar Henderson. I placed an Ohtani bet the other day, though, to win NL MVP. I think he's going to run away with it.
I spoke to Ben and Donnie about Ohtani to lead the league in homers. He's at 7-1 now. If that number drops to 10-1, that's where I'm going to, or increase whatever you want to call it, to 10-1, that's where I'm going to jump in on Ohtani. Just the rate that Judge is hitting him is obviously fantastic, but 10-1 is just too good of a price for Ohtani. I wouldn't take him at 7-1 now. Wait a little bit on Ohtani. Betts comes back and, insulated in the lineup just a little bit more, and I'll take him at 10-1.
And I don't think it's slanderous or foolish if you say I'm willing to bet against Judge staying healthy enough to lead the league in home runs. I think that's acceptable.
Yeah, I mean that's a risk we have to take with every player.
Right. But certain guys more than others, and Judge, unfortunately for me as a Yankee fan, fits that description. Tom, great as always. Back to right here on SportsGrid.
SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. Fantasy sports today.
Can he be a guy that's really useful in your fantasy rotation? I think the answer is yes.
Game time decisions.
I'm going to lose the bet because he's injured again.
Betting above the rim.
He's got a broke J. That's all there is to it. He's got no confidence in that jump shot.
My thing you've always heard me say on the network is you're either winning or you're rebuilding.
In-game live, all access.
Wondering when that was going to happen, and the answer is it just
Sometimes
did.
the bigger guy will have the advantage. Well, if the little guy can move, Joe, it's hard to hit the little guy sometimes when you're a big boy, right?
In-game live, prime time.
40-1, I'm going to take a little flyer on Justin Rose.
In-game live, overtime.
As you sit here and watch right now, you may want to consider placing that bet.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
He went bogey, double, par, birdie, bogey. Thomas Dietrich's all over the place here today.
This golf course is so volatile where it can make you look like a fool in just a matter of minutes. And, you look at a guy like Thomas Dietrich. He's right there tied for the lead or whatever it was, and now he's like 4 or 5 over in the wink of an eye.
In-game live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
Despite me being a Yankee fan, I think Joe would deserve the label as Aaron Judge's biggest fan, not through any bias, but just through the amount of money that he's made anybody who's been betting on him.
I just had him for that home run, and I'm going to go back to it today. That home run coming in at plus 230. Max Fried here, while he has been strong, this is Aaron Judge.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Oh, we're so back. We've never been more back. They have some risk-free Subway Series, same-game parlays. The crew in the back's trying to get involved. They're making me get involved. Tyrone Taylor. Where's Mark Vientos? They gave him a day off? Come on now. Is Vientos in this lineup today? I might straight sizzle Vientos. Apparently, if you'd like to get in on a parlay that I respectfully have minimal confidence in, we've got Soto Alvarez, both for a hit, and Tyrone Taylor for an RBI. Nothing would be funnier than if I got that wrong, but I believe that's what the parlay is. So we're in. Great. Can't wait. So far, no runs in the Detroit-Philly game, which is what we are rooting on. Runs are coming in aplenty in Baltimore today. It's 3-2 Guardians. What do we need to put on the board? Let me put a soccer pick on the board for people. It's the only one we haven't done yet. I'm playing over in Chile, Argentina, 2.5. So I think this is kind of I must admit to the folks, it's more of a numbers play than a trends play. I'm attempting to buy low. Argentina in competitive games have certainly played unders more recently. I played under in their game against Canada that opened up the tournament. But when you look at this team, there is still certainly plenty of offensive firepower. It took them a long time to break through against Canada. They eventually did, and were able to get goals on the board. They were able to keep that clean sheet. So a lot of this 2.5, people would probably feel will come down, can Chile score? I believe the answer to that is yes. They didn't score in their opening game. I think it's a bit of a bounce-back spot in that capacity. And while I could play both teams to score at a better number, I don't want to rule out Argentina getting 3 goals in this game. If you look at the most recent games Chile's played against countries of this caliber, France, 3 goals, Uruguay, 3 goals. So I think we've got ourselves an over here at plus 118. I think it could get over the 3.5. If you want plus 320, I think a 3-1 score line is on the board here in this game for Argentina. And that is a big-time number there for that spot. I mentioned the Spurs and a risky scenario, but a risk that could be worth taking. They select 4 and 8 in this draft. They have apparently made a few phone calls to see if they could trade up to 1. It looks like it won't happen. If this board goes chalk 1, 2, 3, you will see it will go Richeche, Sarr, Shepard. And at 4th overall right now, you have the Spurs favored to select Stefan Castle. That plus 140 number is continuing to move down, even to plus 130. It is a continuously dropping market. You could still find a plus 150. What if the Spurs, though, take the other UConn player in Donovan Clingan? That would pay out at plus 350. Clingan at other books, plus 450 to go in this slot. And we have seen them connected to Clingan in some instances. So I think that that's very plausible. What happens between 4th pick and the next time the Spurs are on the board? Well, at 5, you have a minus 120 Matas Buzelis number. The Pistons have been linked to Buzelis for a while. Steph Castle is 14-1 in this market. Then at the 6th slot, you have Dalton Connect with Charlotte on the board at plus 130. And at the 7th spot, it is Cody Williams, a favorite at 4-1. Again, Steph Castle, well back there at 12-1. The thing about Charlotte and Portland is we've heard Steph Castle's not interested in going to a team with an established lead guard, LaMelo Ball, and what Portland hopes to be Scoot Henderson. Is it crazy if San Antonio took Clingan at 4 and risked the potential that Steph Castle could be there at 8? I don't think that's crazy. Now, you always want to make sure you get the best player, but these teams, these organizations have more contacts than anyone. And if that Castle fall is possible, I think San Antonio absolutely needs to look into it, which would then send Clingan off the board at 4 and see Steph Castle go under or over, his draft position. Talking more baseball, we're back to you right here on SportsGrid.
SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. Fantasy sports today.
Can he be a guy that's really useful in your fantasy rotation? I think the answer is yes.
Game time decisions.
I'm going to lose the bet because he's injured again.
Betting above the rim.
He's got a broke Jay. That's all there is to it. He's got no confidence in that jump shot.
My thing you've always heard me say on the network is you're either winning or you're rebuilding.
In-game live all access.
Wondering when that was going to happen, and the answer is it just
Sometimes
did.
the bigger guy will have the advantage. Well, if the little guy can move, Joe, it's hard to hit the little guy sometimes when you're a big boy, right?
In-game live, prime time.
40-1, I'm going to take a little flyer on Justin Rhodes.
In-game live, overtime.
As you sit here and listen, watch right now, you may want to consider placing that bet.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
He went bogey, double, par, birdie, bogey. Thomas Dietrich's all over the place here today.
This golf course is so volatile where it can make you look like a fool in just a matter of minutes. And, you look at a guy like Thomas Dietrich. He's right there tied for the lead or whatever it was, and now he's like 4 or 5 over in the wink of an eye.
In-game live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
Despite me being a Yankee fan, I think Joe would deserve the label as Aaron Judge's biggest fan, not through any bias, but just through the amount of money that he's made anybody who's been betting on him.
I just had him for that home run, and I'm going to go back to it today. That home run coming in at plus 230. Max Fried here, while he has been strong, this is Aaron Judge.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
We're live. We're here. It's SportsGrid. It's Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh with you on this Tuesday. We are rooting in the under for Tigers Phils, 7.5. So far scoreless. Live number 5.5. That is a fast mover. That is an absolute fast mover. Guardians up 3-2 right now on Baltimore, but an opportunity for Mountcastle here to bring in some runs. It looks like Mount. Is that right? No, it's not right. It's not right at all. No. See, my ESPN is not giving me what I need. We have Adley Rutschman for a home run in that game. We also have Juan Soto for a home run coming up with a Subway World Series game, and that will begin in a bit. To help us talk some baseball, Joe Madden, as always, has joined us. But, Joe, before we get to the Major League Baseball, we have to start with the Stanley Cup Final. Florida Panthers, a champion crowned. I am curious what you made of Game 7 last night.
Absolutely phenomenal performance out of the Florida Panthers. This was the Florida Panthers team that we saw in Game 2 and Game 3. A team with that suffocating defense that just didn't allow the Edmonton Oilers to get an inch of ice out there. We also saw the Edmonton Oilers struggle. As soon as they got the puck out of their zone, in the neutral zone, those turnovers were happening. Florida was just all over them. Huge takeaway, though, for Connor McDavid. I think this is really going to light a fire under him, Kevin. Again, held off the board completely in Game 7, a pivotal game where he really needed to show up and step up for his team. But this defense didn't give him any space out there. So no knock against him. There's no knock even you can put on Stuart Skinner. I know a lot of people thought that second goal was a little weaker, but Stuart Skinner had an excellent performance. Bobrovsky finally looked like the Bobrovsky we saw in Game 1. It was a fantastic way to finish that series with the Florida Panthers hoisting that cup. So it was great. I think Edmonton's going to be back next year, though. Don't count them out of anything. This team is going to be back and better, I do think, next season.
So I want to touch on that, Joe, for a second. And I don't know how many people out there have maybe been routinely betting Connor McDavid to win the cup, right? He, of course, won the Conn Smythe. We might get to that in a minute. But at the moment, Edmonton is 10-1. Connor McDavid is, and I know I'm kind of a little bit more zoomed out, but he's arguably, a top 5 skater of all time? Gretzky, Lemieux, Gordie Howe, Crosby, Ovi. Yager, I don't know, longevity thing. McDavid is somewhere in that conversation. Guys that great win. They just do. And due to the parity that exists in hockey, I wonder if it's a crazy idea to just bet McDavid to win the cup every year for the next decade and expect that you're going to hit that bet at least once. He got very close this year, and I would expect him to win a cup within the next 6 years.
I absolutely am with you there. I think Connor McDavid and his leadership out there on the ice is second to none. You saw him at the end of that game stand there and wait for every single one of those players to get off the ice before he left it, giving them all a hug as they left. Connor McDavid definitely is the pivotal point of the Edmonton Oilers. And I do think you look at Edmonton now and you look at how close they came to tasting victory. It was like the Florida Panthers last year. I do think we could see the same sort of storyline. Florida last year lost to the Vegas Golden Knights. They were so close they could taste it. I can see this igniting Edmonton and Connor McDavid. I'm looking already at the Edmonton Oilers to win the Pacific. That was plus 125 this morning over on FanDuel, plus 420 to take the Western Conference. I bet that as well. And like you said, 10-1 to take the cup. I would be looking at Connor McDavid for the Conn Smythe as soon as those numbers come out as well, Kevin. I think there's such an opportunity for this team to come back stronger next season. Now, do they have to tweak a couple things out there? Absolutely. This team needs to find another key defensive player, but Stuart Skinner has proven he can be the goaltender to take them all the way deep into the Stanley Cup Finals. He was able to do it this season. This team went on that huge stretch this season where they were able to win, 16 games in a row. Connor McDavid broke records left, right, and center, and I do think this is your team to beat next season. I know Florida got it done this year. They're plus 900 right now if you want to look at them to repeat. I don't see the repeat happening. I do think it's Edmonton's year. They'll be hungrier.
Yeah, we're far out, Joe, but at 10-1, I don't hate it. I think the other incredible number they've already posted is the Hart Trophy price. I'm not sure if you've seen McDavid at plus 180. I'm not sure I'd be willing to bet against him losing this award 2 in a row because we're expecting McKinnon will win it this year.
Yeah, I'm with you. I do think McKinnon will get it this year, but next year at plus 180, I do think the value is there, Kevin. But do I want to have my money tied up in a plus 180 bet right now? No. I think the plus 1,000, plus 900, even a plus 800, plus 420, I like for those kind of awards. But as soon as we're getting down into that, plus 130 to plus 200 range, I'm just not wanting to wrap my money up. That's different, though. To win the Pacific for the Edmonton Oilers, I think if you really do believe in Connor McDavid that strongly, you look at their team to take the Pacific. They have every opportunity to do so. I think they come out hot as they start the season, and they never look back.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It would be rare air if McDavid did win another. There's not a long list of guys that have been able to get more than 3 Hart trophies. Gretzky, of course, obviously. That's how that goes. Gordie Howe. Then you got to go all the way back to Eddie Shore, actually, there. I believe that's only that list. One other question, Joe, and because I do believe that you're kind of going to be on assignment somewhat Friday, when the NHL draft kind of steps up and becomes a part of the conversation. And what feels like perhaps more common in hockey, I don't know if it's becoming more common, but the price on the first overall selection for the NHL draft is minus 20,000. Celebrini, Macklin Celebrini. I won't pretend I know anything about the player, but a monstrous favorite to go first overall. Is this another game-changing type player?
He is. He's a fantastic young player out there, and whoever gets him, it's going to be a fantastic pick. And now you're right. It's unbettable. And this is what we see every single year. There's that one standout player that is absolutely going to go first. So I don't love betting the NHL draft. You're starting to get value when you're looking at players who you think are going to go third or fourth because there's so many question marks on which way a team will go. And that's where you're starting to get the value. But on the first and even the second player, you're not getting much value. Celebrini, though, is going to be hugely impactful. Can't wait, Kevin. I can't believe we're already talking NHL draft. Before you know it, the season's going to start again.
It'll be right here before we know it. Speaking of right here before we know it, Subway Series, because, Joe, we're going to have you stick around and get a few baseball picks, but that game's about to start. Yanks-Mets. Do you like anything in that one?
I do. I think the Mets can pull off the win here at home. We're getting great plus money. You look at here, the Yankees struggles versus lefties. And I know David Peterson has had his struggles, especially at home, at ERA over 5. But I think the Mets bullpen can pull him out of this game if he has struggles. I trust his bullpen against the Yankees here. And I know the Yankees are normally a team. I'm looking at Aaron Judge for that home run. I do think the struggles are coming today. I think the runs, though, are coming as well. I think it's a 5-4 style game. So the Mets take this one to the over 8.5, and the Mets get the win, Kevin.
All right, so looking for an over. And then, Joe, an under, if I'm not mistaken, in Reds-Pirates.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a tight one, and I trust this pitching matchup between Mitch Keller and Hunter Green for the Pirates, and then, the Pirates with Keller and Green for the Reds. I really do think both of these pitchers can come out strong enough to keep it under 9. I was actually really shocked that we had a total of 9 in this one, Kevin. I was expecting an 8 or an 8.5. I just think this is one of those style games where you look at Green and you look how strong he's been out over his last 2 starts, only allowing 2 earned runs in just over 11 innings pitched. And then for Mitch Keller, he's been strong over his last 3, only allowing 4 earned runs. So as long as both of these pitchers come out strong, we should be good.
All right, we're going to keep Joe around, get a couple more baseball picks next here on Game Time Decisions.
SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. Fantasy sports today.
Can he be a guy that's really useful in your fantasy rotation? I think the answer is yes.
Game time decisions.
I'm going to lose the bet because he's injured again.
Betting above the rim.
He's got a broke Jay. That's all there is to it. He's got no confidence in that jump shot.
My thing you've always heard me say on the network is you're either winning or you're rebuilding.
In-game live all access.
Wondering when that was going to happen, and the answer is it just did.
The bigger guy will have the advantage. Well, if the little guy can move, Joe, it's hard to hit the little guy sometimes when you're a big boy, right?
In-game live, prime time.
40-1, I'm going to take a little flyer on Justin Rose.
In-game live, overtime.
As you sit here and watch right now, you may want to consider placing that bet.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
He went bogey, double, par, birdie, bogey. Thomas Dietrich's all over the place here today.
This golf course is so volatile where it can make you look like a fool in just a matter of minutes. And, you look at a guy like Thomas Dietrich. He's right there tied for the lead or whatever it was, and now he's like 4 or 5 over in the wink of an eye.
In-game live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
Despite me being a Yankee fan, I think Joe would deserve the label as Aaron Judge's biggest fan, not through any bias, but just through the amount of money that he's made anybody who's been betting on him.
I just had him for that home run, and I'm going to go back to it today. That home run coming in at plus 230. Max Fried here, while he has been strong. This is Aaron Judge.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
All right, we're back. Game time decisions. I'm in the moment. I'm currently considering no longer being a Yankee fan. 3-0 Juan Soto, Dinger Tuesday. Squares to bunt. Of course he walked. It's all Juan Soto does. He's a walk merchant. I respect that. I like that. I like Juan Soto a lot. I think many Yankee fans, quite frankly, don't deserve Juan Soto. Again, I say this as a Yankee fan. Yankee fans wanted to keep every prospect under the sun. They didn't want any great players. Look what happened. Great players showed up. All of a sudden, great things happened. But apparently, did the Yankees break this man? I mean, truly, someone explain to me. Someone explained to me why Juan Soto just tried to bunt on 3-0. He's Juan Soto. I mean, did he bunt foul intentionally because he knew he was going to walk? I'm not happy about it. I'm complaining a little bit, probably more than I should. It's all right. Let's move forward. Let's be better. Joe Madden's still here, thank goodness, because I am a bit rattled, Joe. I cannot believe that he bunted. Let's move off of it. The Dodgers are in Chicago. Yesterday, Garrett Crochet priced like the greatest pitcher in the history of baseball. Didn't matter. Dodgers win. Now, Dodgers much bigger favorites. What do you think about this game?
Yeah, much bigger favorites, but I don't know how much faith I have in Bobby Miller. It's his second start since that shoulder surgery, and he showed his struggles in that last one. And we look here at the Chicago White Sox. Chris Flexen, he doesn't give me a lot of confidence either. Looking at Chris Flexen, he's 2-6 with a 5.06 ERA. And we also look at the Chicago White Sox in their starts. With him, they haven't been able to record those wins. They've only recorded 2 of his wins so far this season. When I look at this matchup, I really do think we're going to go flying over that total. I love the Yurfie in this because I don't trust either pitcher to really come out. I do think it's probably the Dodgers who get the runs in the first inning, but it could be the Chicago White Sox. I wouldn't be shocked here. So give me the Yurfie. That's coming in at -122. I think you can also look at the over 1.5 runs in the first inning as well. That's coming in at +210. So if you want to do like a half a unit on the Yurfie, half on the over 1.5, I think it's a really solid way to go, Kevin. And then I'm also looking at the Dodgers in the first 5 innings on that run line. Laying the 1.5 on the run line in the first 5 innings is coming in at +118. We look at the Dodgers and their strength on that run line in the first 5. And Bobby Miller should be able to do enough in this one for the Dodgers to get up nice in this over Chris Flexen and the Chicago White Sox. So I am looking for them on that run line in the first 5 as well.
All right, so some Dodgers respect, which usually is never needed, but after yesterday, I think still necessary. Joe, the Royals tonight will be hosting Miami. Their ace goes in Seth Lugo. What do you think about the Royals and the Marlins?
So I'm never completely comfortable taking Seth Lugo over on his strikeouts because you look at Seth Lugo and while he's been strong, as long as he goes deep, though, he should be able to go over his number today, and we're getting plus money. It's 5.5. I was hoping for a 4.5 in this one, but at over 5.5, it's coming in at +130. We look at the Miami Marlins as of late, and their strikeout rate has gone through the roof in the last 14 days. It's over 26%. And Seth Lugo can and should go deep into the 7th inning in this one, which will result in over those 5.5 strikeouts. He's coming off 8 strikeouts, but that was versus the Oakland A's. I just look at him here in his 16 starts. His strikeout rate is right around 20%. So it's going to be really close to this number. I wouldn't take it any higher, but I do think we can see him produce 6 strikeouts in this one versus the Miami Marlins with their current form. And he can go deep enough to do so. Now, you could also look at him for over 18.5 outs. I like that a lot as well. That's coming in at +118. He should be able to do both of these, Kevin. I do feel more confident in the over 5.5 strikeouts, though.
Quickly on Seth Lugo, wins above replacement for American League pitchers. He's currently 4th overall. But if anybody wants to attempt to tell me that wins above replacement is invaluable, certainly with pitchers, now would be your opportunity. The pitchers in front of Seth Lugo, you could give people a million guesses. They never get all 3. At 3, it's Fetty of the White Sox. At 2, Garrett Crochet of the White Sox. And at number 1, Tyler Anderson of the Los Angeles Angels. The worst baseball teams in the world, apparently the best pitchers in the American League. Joe, closing out the baseball card. Astros, Rockies. I think this is a sizzle game. What do you like here?
It should be, and I hope I'm not falling into a trap here because the Astros have been so phenomenally hot, and I'm looking for them to continue to do so with Hunter Brown getting the start. I'm taking the Astros on the run line for the full game, laying the 1.5 at -125. Austin Cromber coming out here for the Colorado Rockies. I don't have faith in him. He's 1-4 with a 4.36 ERA. Career ERA versus the Astros over 4 as well. And I think the Astros will hit nicely off of him. The Colorado Rockies are 3-7 in their last 10, and this is a team that doesn't instill a lot of faith. And with the Astros being able to get nicely on the board offensively, I do think that they can cover this run line. Now, I'm also going to look at Austin Cromber here to come out and go under his strikeouts. There's not lots of times I like to take a picture under their strikeouts, but this one is just screaming at me. Under 3.5, it's juicy at -140. So the books are thinking that he's going to struggle to get those strikeouts on the board as well. The Astros are just so disciplined at the plate versus lefties, and I do think we'll see a lack of strikeouts out of the Astros in this one. I'm expecting them to hit Austin Cromber hard as well. So they're striking out at only 15.9% against left-handed pitchers. So they have been strong in this situation. I'm expecting them to be disciplined. There should be some walks coming for them and some big runs in this one, Kevin.
All right. I love the look there, Joe. I think that is going to be a fun one to follow here, and we appreciate you making some time for us with this baseball board. It's going to be a fun one to follow. Best of luck.
Best of luck to everyone out there. And, of course, Kevin, I'm always happy to come on Game Time Decisions. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Joe's always on the board there. Quickly, before we hit this break, Tyler Anderson, who again leads the American League pitchers in wins above replacement, is not listed on either DraftKings or FanDuel to win Cy Young. Value? I mean, can you make a case? Fetty is at 200-1. The Paul Skeens number, many know it as. Tanner Houck, anyone? Certainly not this Cole Reagans. We'll be right back. It's Game Time Decisions.
SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. Fantasy sports today.
Can he be a guy that's really useful in your fantasy rotation? I think the answer is yes.
Game time decisions.
I'm going to lose the bet because he's injured again.
Betting above the rim.
He's got a broke J. That's all there is to it. He's got no confidence in that jump shot.
My thing you've always heard me say on the network is you're either winning or you're rebuilding.
In-game live all access.
Wondering when that was going to happen, and the answer is it just
Sometimes
did.
the bigger guy will have the advantage. Well, if the little guy can move, Joe, it's hard to hit the little guy sometimes when you're a big boy, right?
In-game live, prime time.
40-1, I'm going to take a little flyer on Justin Rose.
In-game live, overtime.
As you sit here and listen, watch right now, you may want to consider placing that bet.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
He went bogey, double, par, birdie, bogey. Thomas Dietrich's all over the place here today.
This golf course is so volatile where it can make you look like a fool in just a matter of minutes. And, you look at a guy like Thomas Dietrich. He's right there tied for the lead or whatever it was, and now he's like 4 or 5 over in the wink of an eye.
In-game live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
Despite me being a Yankee fan, I think Joe would deserve the label as Aaron Judge's biggest fan, not through any bias, but just through the amount of money that he's made anybody who's been betting on him.
I just had him for that home run, and I'm going to go back to it today. That home run coming in at +230. Max Fried here, while he has been strong, this is Aaron Judge.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
All right, we're back. We're in the mix. We're live. Game time decisions. Updates. What do we got here? 4-3 now. Westberg with a double. McCann with a single. Man, oh, man, this game's got juice. Where was this sizzle over? Oh, it's a Yerfie. Pirates, they jump all over Hunter Green. We love to see that. Brian Reynolds. I saw a statistic today. A Brian Reynolds statistic. Why this was on my timeline, I don't know. It was like him, Willie Mays, maybe, and like Tony Gwynn. They're like the best hitters in the history of June. Very interesting. Let's see if I can find this here. I don't know it off the top of my head. I can't spell Brian Reynolds either, apparently, which is another big issue currently in me attempting to find this statistic for people. What are you going to do? But, yeah, so he's got a home run. Let's see if I can find this Brian Reynolds stat. I mean, it just doesn't exist. Did I make it up? It's a fair question. Nevertheless, imagine it wasn't Brian Reynolds who hit the home run. I mean, is this guy still making it happen here? Come on. Brian Reynolds. Spelled his name wrong. It's Brian with a Y. Let's keep going. New segment here on Game Time Decisions. I look up Brian Reynolds statistics. I am now going to continue. Here we go. Joe_Block, welcome to the show. Minimum 400 at-bats. Highest career June batting average. Started careers after World War II. Jackie Robinson, Brian Reynolds, Tony Gwynn. 346, 346, 344. Mr. June, Brian Reynolds. Should have seen it coming. How about that? Man, all right. He's also got a 22-game hit streak going now. Kind of rocks, Brian Reynolds. Good for him. Yankees, if you bet the Yerfie in the Subway Series, it is beyond fair to press the panic button on the Yankees. Single, walk. And then they went strikeout, no runs. Oh, my gosh, man. That is terrible. That is really, really bad. Speaking of no runs, I mean, they may never score in Detroit, Philly. I'll say this. I may get panicked on my over now because, as we all know, if you get to extras, anything is possible. And that's basically where we are. Can we get a live extra innings bet? Could someone find that for me? I mean, I could barely find Brian Reynolds' name. Someone's going to look for me. I appreciate that. That's great work. That's teamwork here. Boston, Toronto slings a nerfy for people. Ooh. Rays up 2-0 on Seattle. Louis Castillo's not having a good year. He's not. I was talking with someone the other day about the Mariners and how they stack up in the American League, and the foundation of any pro-Mariners argument is having one of, if not the best rotations in this league. And while it overall, there's some truth to it, and Logan Gilbert's having the strongest season of the bunch, Louis Castillo's been somewhat disappointing, and George Kirby's been all right. I think Brian Woo's been brilliant. I believe he left early in yesterday's game, which I think was a little bit of a scary situation there against Tampa Bay. But this is a very interesting Seattle team that I can't personally tell you I'm in love with right now. A leadoff double for the Metsies. Frankie Lindor. If the Irving does not hit in that game, that is a nasty beat. Let's just quickly, for anybody tuning in right now, the bets that I have that have not gone live yet. The Homer Fest boost special on DK. I just took Ohtani's plus 160. I kind of almost treated it like a straight wager. I have no problem if you treat this kind of like a bomb prop, right? Find your least favorite pitcher on the card and then take whomever you want to kind of go deep. Adam Mazur's pretty terrible going for San Diego. Betting on a National sounds horrifying. But does Nick Senzel send one out tonight? Maybe. What about, hold on, where's my guy, Joey Meneses? Oh, it could be his turn. Oh, you know what? We might have our first ever double play of the day. No, we're not. But, yeah, so for Homer Fest, we're going with Ohtani. Soccer pick, I have Argentina, Chile over the 2.5. Side note, Brazil, terrible start to Copa America. A scoreless draw. Look, they had chances, but that's not the bar for Brazil in a game that they're a minus 1,200 triple money line favorite. It's not they had chances. Score. Multiple goals, right? Also, speaking of a team who, England, the next game that they look good in will be the first game they look good in. I mean, they've been atrocious. Bracket starting to get set. I think tomorrow, I believe we finish up group play. Hitting break. We're back. Dave Caravan joins us on SportsGrid.
SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. Fantasy sports today.
Can he be a guy that's really useful in your fantasy rotation? I think the answer is yes.
Game time decisions.
I'm going to lose the bet because he's injured again.
Betting above the rim.
He's got a broke Jay. That's all there is to it. He's got no confidence in that jump shot.
My thing you've always heard me say on the network is you're either winning or you're rebuilding.
In-game live all access.
Wondering when that was going to happen, and the answer is it just
Sometimes
did.
the bigger guy will have the advantage. Well, if the little guy can move, Joe, it's hard to hit the little guy sometimes when you're a big boy, right?
In-game live, prime time.
40-1, I'm going to take a little flyer on Justin Rose.
In-game live, overtime.
As you sit here and listen, watch right now, you may want to consider placing that bet.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
He went bogey, double, par, birdie, bogey. Thomas Dietrich's all over the place here today.
This golf course is so volatile where it can make you look like a fool in just a matter of minutes. And, you look at a guy like Thomas Dietrich. He's right there tied for the lead or whatever it was, and now he's like 4 or 5 over in the wink of an eye.
In-game live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
Despite me being a Yankee fan, I think Joe would deserve the label as Aaron Judge's biggest fan, not through any bias, but just through the amount of money that he's made anybody who's been betting on him.
I just had him for that home run, and I'm going to go back to it today. That home run coming in at plus 230. Max Fried here, while he has been strong, this is Aaron Judge.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
All right, we're back with you right here. It's Game Time Decisions. And Dave Sharapan is nothing if not a message sender. And message received, sir. Message received. Welcome in. How are you?
Boy, I'm great. Broke out my Mets City Connect. I wore my Let's Go Mets 1969 T-shirt. We're ready to go. We got Subway Series. Kofsky, that one was for you, sir. I mean, this is what you got to do. You got to help the people out. After a big night, Florida Panthers get there. By the way, Kevin, did you see who got the Conn Smythe? I was just curious if you had
I did.
noticed. You told everybody.
Yeah.
And, I mean, our esteemed producer made a play, helped everybody out. I mean, that's the one they're going to be talking about. Do you remember the night? Like, forget the movie Remember the Titans. Do you remember the night that the book in game made Connor McDavid minus $3? Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you see the voting results?
I did not.
They're good.
Close? Was it close?
I think it was 17 voters. All right, so
17?
Did you know this? That it's a ballot. It goes 1, 2, 3.
I knew it was 1, 2, 3, but I didn't know how many people was it. So 17 people. Yeah. So how was it, a landslide?
There were more ballots that didn't have Bobrovsky on them than voted him first.
Wow.
And there were none that voted Barkov first. McDavid got all but one first place vote.
Wow. There were 3 guys that were better than Bobrovsky getting a mention 1, 2, or 3 in that series. Who could have been the third guy on a lot of guys' list?
So
That's
I
incredible.
will list you some of the ballots. Ballot 1, McDavid, Barkov, Verhaeghe.
Okay.
Ballot 2, McDavid, Barkov, Bobrovsky.
I have no
Ballot
qualm with
3.
either one of those. Those are the only guys that should be mentioned. Those 4 guys.
All right, so I'll throw, we saw Forsling finish 3rd on a number of ballots.
What?
We saw...
You can't even spell that. You can't spell Reynolds. I was paying attention.
We saw Skinner finish 3rd on a ballot.
That guy had 200 to 1 or more. He had
We
that
had
200 to 1 or more.
Bouchard finish 3rd on 2 ballots. Would you like to hear the craziest ballot of the bunch?
It's not the Forsyth guy or whatever you said. What? It's someone else?
McDavid, Hyman, Bouchard. All Oilers, no Panthers, and it still didn't include Leon. It's the craziest ballot in the history of awards voting you'll maybe ever see.
That guy lives in Red Deer.
Maybe the craziest ballot of all
That
time.
guy lives in Red Deer, somewhere or in a suburb of Edmonton.
Even if I'm just going to assume that's fine. Yeah, contact. No Leon. We thought that Leon was the 9th best Oiler.
There has to be some sort of level of accountability, but McDavid winning it didn't surprise me. That surprises me that Bobrovsky's not on the ballot.
To be clear, Bobrovsky was on 1, 2, 3 ballots total. He was on 3 total ballots of 17.
Wow. I mean, that game he got pulled, did it that much? I mean, he did beat the Rangers. He did have them up 3-1 and had a bad game. That seems over much. That seems a bit much. Wow.
It's so fascinating to your point. If you look at, game 1, he was the star. Game 2, he was incredible. Game 3, he was bad in the 3rd period. Game 4, he was an absolute disgrace to any all-time great goaltender trying to win a Conn Smythe. Game 5, he was atrocious. Game 6, he was bad. And then Game 7, he was really good. I don't know how you weigh that, but I think you make a great point. Was Forsling more important than Bobrovsky in rounds 1, 2, 3?
No. I would love to sit with the hockey guy and have that explained to me because I watched all the games too. And Bobrovsky is one of the main reasons why they even got to the Cup Finals. He was great.
Right.
He was great against the Rangers. I mean, he was as good as Igor. I mean, I can't believe it. So, well, that's it. Hockey season's over. What are you moving on to? I mean, you're into this soccer. But before we move on, though, it's Brian Reynolds. Put some respect on that man's name. He's a Pirate. Whoa. He has the longest hitting streak in Major League Baseball right now, 21 games. He's leading June. You can't even spell this man's name.
Now, hold on. Many are saying I might be the number 1 Brian Reynolds respecter as I gave time to mention his batting average in his career in June. How many others did that?
I was mistaken. I was given bad information. That's fine. I apologize.
Now, did I spell his name wrong?
R-E-Y-N-O-L-D-S.
Oh, you bet. I spelled his name wrong, no doubt. But we gotta grade that appropriately. Coming from me, that's not much slander. That's just a bad day at the office. Or honestly, it's a normal day at the office, quite frankly. That's as normal as me taking lunch. Whoa, is that noon? Hit the clock, PPJ. Let's go. Let's go. Wrap it up.
Thank goodness for spell check.
Whoa. Let me tell you. Hey, question for you.
Yes, sir.
I want to set the table to try and put anyone who hates war at ease because I can tell you that there are people who work on this show who fit that description.
Okay.
I don't worry about how accurate or valuable the statistic is. Voters use it, right? We know that. Would you say okay? Currently, the wins above replacement leader for pitchers in the National League is Ranger Suarez. If we look at the odds to win National League Cy Young, Ranger Suarez is the third choice, and a week ago was the favorite, right?
Yep.
Last year, the wins above replacement leader for pitchers in the American League was Garrett Cole. And in the National League was Blake Snell. Cy Young.
Cy Young. Yep.
The American League leader in wins above replacement right now doesn't have odds up on either FanDuel or DraftKings.
Whoa. Does he have innings pitch requirement met?
Yeah, he does. The issue is the team he plays for, apparently.
Wow.
And would you believe me if I told you he's pitching on the slate tonight?
Whoa. It's not Mitch Keller, is it?
No. It is Los Angeles Angel Tyler Anderson.
What? Really? I was going through the list of games. That would have been like my second or third last choice. Oakland and the Angels tonight?
But look.
They're only minus 118 tonight. We got to play it.
By the way, couldn't agree more. Great look. See, this is where Dave's good. I'm wasting everybody's time with this guy winning Cy Young. Dave's like, forget that. We got the Cy Young guy going tonight against the A's, getting 118.
And he's only minus 118.
I agree. Now, but here's the Dave. Who do we reach out to get a number? I mean, we bet the Skeens at 200. We might as well bet this guy at 300, 400. What can we get? Can we get a number?
Oh. Wow. I'll make a call after the show. What do we need?
All right.
250, 300?
I mean, might as well. We'll roll over the winnings from their money line tonight. That or the Tyrone Taylor RBI. We'll be right back.
SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. Fantasy sports today.
Can he be a guy that's really useful in your fantasy rotation? I think the answer is yes.
Game time decisions.
I'm going to lose the bet because he's injured again.
Betting above the rim.
He's got a broke J. That's all there is to it. He's got no confidence in that jump shot.
My thing you've always heard me say on the network is you're either winning or you're rebuilding.
In-game live all access.
Wondering when that was going to happen, and the answer is it just
Sometimes
did.
the bigger guy will have the advantage. Well, if the little guy can move, Joe, it's hard to hit the little guy sometimes when you're a big boy, right?
In-game live, prime time.
40-1, I'm going to take a little flyer on Justin Rose.
In-game live, overtime.
As you sit here and listen, watch right now, you may want to consider placing that bet.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
He went bogey, double, par, birdie, bogey. Thomas Dietrich's all over the place here today.
This golf course is so volatile where it can make you look like a fool in just a matter of minutes. And, you look at a guy like Thomas Dietrich. He's right there tied for the lead or whatever it was, and now he's like 4 or 5 over in the wink of an eye.
In-game live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
Despite me being a Yankee fan, I think Joe would deserve the label as Aaron Judge's biggest fan, not through any bias, but just through the amount of money that he's made anybody who's been betting on him.
I just had him for that home run, and I'm going to go back to it today. That home run coming in at plus 230. Max Fried here, while he has been strong, this is Aaron Judge.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Welcome back. There's so much going on. None of it makes sense. We mentioned the parlay that was forced upon me. The most difficult leg apparently is down. Tyrone Taylor with an RBI. Well, that's going on. The second thing that's going on is Jose Ramirez hit a 3-run homer. And I'm not supposed to do this on a Dinger Tuesday. You just bet your guy and you move on. But if it was either Adley Rutschman or Jose Ramirez, and Jose went deep yesterday, so I said, you know what? We'll take Rutschman. That was stupid. That was a little stupid. That's how we feel right now. Stupid's a harsh word. My mom wouldn't like me using that. I shouldn't use that word, but that's how I feel. So that's going on. We've also got some trouble brewing here now for Ranger Suarez. But then again, that game is still scoreless. Colton Cowser homer, McCann homered. Oh, it's a home run party. If this Adley. And then the craziest thing going on is I broke Consig's brain last segment because I told him the best pitcher in the American League is minus 115 against the A's tonight and doesn't have odds to win Cy Young.
Okay. So I texted a guy, I said, you need Anderson odds for Cy Young. And he was like, what are you talking about? I said, never mind. I'll get the after the fact. Well, let me do the show with K-Dub. All right.
Yeah.
Anderson's 2.48 ERA is sixth best among qualified pitchers in the American League this season. He's allowed 1 run in 7 innings of a no decision in a 2-0 Angels loss versus the Brewers in his last start. The Angels are 5-3 in his last 8 overall starts. How about this one, though? This is still only minus 118. Anderson is 3-0 with a 1.61 ERA across 5 career starts against Oakland. That's his lowest ERA against a single opponent in his career. You've done it. That's it. That's my play of the day. I love doing the show with you. That's it. The Angels are a play. We got to put them in later. Give me something to sweat. No one's watching this game. You find gold, like Cam likes to say, in the can. You dig deep. There's a betting opportunity even in the worst games. That one's priced wrong, K-Dub. Bam.
Awesome.
I'm excited.
I don't really understand how he doesn't have odds, to be fair. And before anybody says, he's not going to win it.
The stats, Kevin, before this last 8 starts, not good. He didn't warrant odds before the last 8 starts.
I mean, I'm not going to tell you how to agree. The top end ERA, the worst ERA he's had at any point this year was a 2.92. Like, that's the worst. He's never at any point in the season had an ERA above a 3. I understand that it's been getting better. You know what I mean? I got you, Dave. But, like, at no point has he been bad. Now, maybe it's because he started, I don't know, he started the year 2-3, but, like, who cares? He had a 1.78 ERA leaving those games. But by the way, truly, can I just tell you what would be the most LA Angels thing in the history of the LA Angels is getting the American League Cy Young winner after they get rid of all their MVPs and in another disaster season. It would just be so Angels, it would hurt.
That would be classic.
By the way, you mentioned your play of the day. I have 2 play of the day notes for you. Play of the day note number 1. Did you see Profar last night?
What was the final result? How did it all work out?
Oh, the Nationals fans in the back are leading it. I think I just picked up Nationals radio with pregame coverage. Profar got up 2 outs, bottom 10, down a run. Ground rule double. That'll score 2. That's plus 195 for an RBI jerks and Profar MLB play of the day style. That's not the main. That's not the main item.
The 10th? It had to work the 10th. You needed extras to get there.
He batted leadoff. He batted leadoff 3 of the 5 at bats he had. It wasn't great. It's fine. Okay, ready? You want to know what today's play of the day was? Because I'm such a developed baseball bettor.
Mitch Keller, Pirates, anything, something.
Under 7.5 Tigers Phils. Come on now.
Oh, baby.
Took an under and took a low number under. Come on now.
Too easy.
Look at him.
Too easy, drill sergeant. Too easy. That was great. That's a good. That's a play. That had to be. I saw that this morning. So why is that 7? It's Suarez and Scuba. You know 7. What they're going to bet. That's good.
Yeah, close 7.5.
Yeah, you got 7.5. You got to beat the. You beat the number too. On top of it.
Yeah, which some say is all you need to do.
We need Scooble to keep pitching. We don't need that bullpen to come in there. We got to get 7 out of him. Well, come on.
Scooball's not. I'll say this about Mr. Scooball. Not great third time through a lineup. So
nope.
Let's be careful now.
Dangerous.
Let's be cautious. Dave, let me sneak this in. The NBA draft's tomorrow.
I heard. I can't wait to see you guys do that show. That's going to be awesome.
And I appreciate that. And I know that is to which the extent of probably that you would like to talk some NBA draft.
I'm not even watching the draft. I'm watching you. I'll be watching you guys.
Respect. Yeah. Have you talked to anyone about the process of booking Ronnie, which is the first time ever that they've had to book a second-round player as by far the most important player in the draft?
Yep. Yeah. The one guy said, we're not putting it up. That's what we're going to do. We're not putting it up. The guy, I said, this is going to be the most handled. He said, we're not putting it up. I don't know what to believe, what not to believe. He said, we're just not putting it up. That's it. I said, okay. Just had to ask. Why, do you have intel on this? Do I got to drive to Arizona?
I have none. Listen, I a month ago played him under 39.5. It's up to 49.5. I've not played it again. I'll make a decision at some point tomorrow. I still think, if you said guess the range, which is I think he goes inside the top 35. That's my guess. Could be wrong.
Okay.
Could be wrong. If he goes 55 to the Lakers, the biggest tampering fine in the history of sports should be handed out if he goes 55 to the Lakers. I don't know who they hit it. I don't know who they give it to. But somebody's got to pay that bill. Somebody's got to pay that bill. We'll be with you back here on Game Time Decisions. Don't forget.
SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. Fantasy sports today.
Can he be a guy that's really useful in your fantasy rotation? I think the answer is yes.
Game time decisions.
I'm going to lose the bet because he's injured again.
Betting above the rim.
He's got a broke J. That's all there is to it. He's got no confidence in that jump shot.
My thing you've always heard me say on the network is you're either winning or you're rebuilding.
In-game live all access.
Wondering when that was going to happen, and the answer is it just did.
The bigger guy will have the advantage. Well, if the little guy can move, Joe, it's hard to hit the little guy sometimes when you're a big boy, right?
In-game live, prime time.
40-1, I'm going to take a little flyer on Justin Rose.
In-game live, overtime.
As you sit here and listen, watch right now, you may want to consider placing that bet.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
He went bogey, double, par, birdie, bogey. Thomas Dietrich's all over the place here today.
This golf course is so volatile where it can make you look like a fool in just a matter of minutes. And, you look at a guy like Thomas Dietrich. He's right there tied for the lead or whatever it was, and now he's like 4 or 5 over in the wink of an eye.
In-game live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
Despite me being a Yankee fan, I think Joe would deserve the label as Aaron Judge's biggest fan, not through any bias, but just through the amount of money that he's made anybody who's been betting on him.
I just had him for that home run, and I'm going to go back to it today. That home run coming in at plus 230. Max Fried here, while he has been strong, this is Aaron Judge.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Back with you right here, Game Time Decisions. Consig, before we let you get out of here, just kind of let people know you're on In-Game Live tonight, where some of the main focus will be. We've got full baseball, Commissioner's Cup, WNBA. I don't know if you guys have been mixing in some of that Copa America as well.
No, I will not be mixing in the Copa America. We'll have strictly baseball. Some
I got juice in the
WNBA.
game.
We'll let you. No, I can't do it. There's a lot going on.
Why?
We've been driving around picking up all these Florida Panther tickets that were tied to the Boston Celtics. We hit some crazy parlay. We called it the S&W Corporation for Sherapan and Wetzel. We had the championships, Connecticut in the college baskets, the Celtics in the regular baskets, and the Florida Panthers. They got this big graphic prepared. It paid 131-1. Today's victory lap day on the show. So we'll be talking about that. We gave that out months ago, and we finally got one home. I mean, I've been to tell everybody about this Anderson, Mr. Anderson, tonight. This is K-Dub gave me a play, and I'm wearing the Mets stuff. Today, it's pretty obvious that I like the Mets. The Mets are rolling. Right. Kofsky got the hat. I got the hat. Everything's just, this is how you start summer vacation, which is officially what today is in the book. It's one of those days, K-Dub, where you're like, all right, here we go. I got UFC coming to town this weekend. We got me and Peralt got big plans for that. They're taking and whining us, dining us all for that. We got the NHL draft in Vegas this weekend. If you want to come, I can get you into that. You're doing the NBA draft show tomorrow. If you want to talk about the NHL draft, it's right here down the street from me in Vegas. So we'll be there. That's it. That's it. Nothing else.
All right. Not much, but a lot.
Not much, but a lot.
Can I give you one?
Did you see the Dodger number today? Did you see the Dodger number today?
Yeah, why? Why?
What's going on with that? Like yesterday, we got a gift with the Dodgers being cheap. Today, they kind of overshot the mark. But what's this total? 9? Yeah. Dodgers team total over. Flexen has not even been close to what he was.
Yeah, Ohtani's almost picked for a home run. So, I mean, it gives you an idea. I mean, it gives you an idea.
Yeah. What's your one more thing? I apologize for jumping in there. We had to get that Homerfest pick. We have a new segment. What is this?
Yeah, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Okay. Chalk. We've talked about this, you and I, right?
Yeah.
Celtics, UConn, Tennessee with the World Series. I don't know if the Panthers are considered chalk. They're not far off of it, though. Chiefs, Scheffler, all this.
Yep.
When does it flip? Because it's gonna. Football? When's it flip?
No.
Michigan?
Baseball. The way the baseball structured it, it's not the Dodgers. It's not going to be. It's not going to be. It's not the Yankees. I hate to break it to you. They're going to win the American League East. They're going to keep going. It's not them. It's not going to be. Baseball.
O's.
Cleveland. It's Ramirez. How did you not go back-to-back days with Ramirez? Come on.
Don't do that. No, don't do that. The extra
fundamentally sound. I gotta go.
No,
I gotta go.
He's got to go. He's got to go. The extra jab on the way out. I'll tell you, the Ramirez least of my worries. This Suarez. I mean, you blow up to the Tigers lineup? Are you kidding me? I mean, what's his WAR going to be? If it doesn't drop at least a point, I'm going to be furious. I'm going to talk to the guys at WAR Incorporated. I got questions. Tyler Anderson's WAR. I mean, I'd give Tyler Anderson Cy Young of the world right now from what I'm seeing. All right, Angels should have been player of the day. Consig stole that one. Listen, unbelievable scenes there. It's 4-0 Detroit. I like the Tigers. Good dog price. Oh, man. Now, you know what? I'll say one good thing, and this will be mean to me, but I mean it. All the first 5 people got blown to shreds. All the first 5 people who would have told me, oh, why are you betting full game? Guess what? You got smashed to smithereens, and here I am, still with life. I'm a little underwater, right? I'm a little underwater, but I'm still breathing. You can't get rid of me yet. Hey, before you get out of here, just know we got under in the Lynx game. We're still drowning a little. Under in the Lynx game. Over to Chile, Argentina. Come on now. Get excited about it. What do we think? Do I stand to end this? I don't think the camera would fit me. Can I? Hold on. Look at me. Look at me. Before we get out of here, all right? I want to talk to the people quick. It's been a year of the chalk. So what does that mean? A long shot's going to come in. NBA offseason. right? No. Bring it closer, not farther. Bring it closer. Lakers 40-1. It starts tomorrow. Bronny season 17. Tune up the band.